Hi everyone, my name is JT Pilot and today we'll be making another video. This time we'll be doing the 32nd Jacksonville Fictional Airport update. This is for May of 2024, and in today's video we have tons of new models, especially new Gemini jets and Panda models, so that's really exciting. So we got some mainline development, we got a few subscriber routes. I did go back and include some older subscriber routes, so hopefully your route will be featured in today's video. And in case you want your route to be featured, use my Google form in the description below to submit a subscriber route, a random on airport day request, or a Q&A question. So, nonetheless, we'll be starting off with all the aircraft taxiing around. Then we'll be starting off all the aircraft taxiing around. Then we're proceeding on to Terminal 1. So, nonetheless, let's get started off with the first aircraft in today's airport day, which is the British Airways Airbus A350-1000 by Gemini Jets. So, this aircraft is number 1 for takeoff for a flight out to London Heathrow or Milos Aviation's airport. Proceeding to our next aircraft here, the lovely Frontier Airlines Airbus A320neo with the popular Prairie Dog tail. This aircraft has arrived in from Indianapolis and will be heading out to Houston Hobby today. Moving on to our next aircraft here, the Delta Airbus A321-200. He will be heading out to Minneapolis, St. Paul today. What a fantastic NG model there. So, yes, he'll be heading out to Minneapolis. Proceeding to our next taxiing aircraft, you have a WestJet 737-800 with the split skimmer winglets. This aircraft will be heading out to Calgary today, so there you go. Or EQ Plains Airport, so there you go. Moving on over to the next aircraft, you have the NG model Southwest 737-700 in the Heart livery with the split skimmer winglets. This aircraft has arrived in from Syracuse and will be heading out to Houston Intercontinental. So, in real life, Southwest will be ending their services to these destinations. So, I did want to include these destinations for one last final time on my Jacksonville Fictional Airport. So, really sad to see them leaving Syracuse. So, that's a really sad departure, and leaving from Houston Intercontinental as well. And Southwest will be leaving Cozumel. They'll be leaving Cozumel and Bellingham as well. So, those are some other destinations they'll be departing. Quite literally departing from, because they'll be ending their services, I believe, in August to these destinations. Moving on to our next aircraft here, the Spirit Airbus A320neo. This lovely NG model may begin the new Aero Classics version soon with the raccoon masses to change it up a little bit. So this Spirit A320neo with the older titles has arrived in from Austin, Texas. It'll be heading out to Las Vegas today, so carrying some adults going to Las Vegas for a wonderful vacation just to spend their money. Moving on to our next aircraft here, the JetBlue Airbus A320-200 with the Blueberries tail. So this JetBlue A320 has arrived in from South Florida International Airport, or Aviation 25's airport. It'll be heading out to New York JFK or Southwest Flyer 345's airport. So, yes, grateful to use this Gemini jet model. I haven't used it in a bit, so we'll be including today's video, and hopefully I'll be able to get some more JetBlue models soon for some rotation at. And I believe in the next Jacksonville Fictional Airport update, we'll be having some new JetBlue models, so stay tuned. Proceeding on to another taxiing aircraft here, the lovely Avianca versus the A320-200. This aircraft has arrived in from Bogota in Colombia, and will be soon making a return flight out there. We got a special livery up next. Here at the wonderful Gemini Jets Alaska Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 9 and the West Coast Wonders livery. So this aircraft will be heading out to Seattle today for a typical Alaska Airlines flight. Moving on to our next aircraft, here's the Azul Airbus A330-900neo and the lovely breast cancer awareness livery. And this aircraft will be heading out to Campinas in Brazil. Proceeding on to our next taxi aircraft. Just a little backlight here. Let's get a better shot. So getting a better shot of this wonderful Panama is the Legion Airlines Airbus A319. This aircraft has arrived in from Springfield, Missouri today. And we'll say he'll be heading out to South Bend in Indiana. Alright, so proceeding on to another taxi aircraft. Here we have JetBlue Airbus A321neo. This aircraft has arrived in from Los Angeles and will be heading out to Boston Logan International Airport. Proceeding to our next aircraft here, the American Airbus A319-100. This aircraft is taxiing out for a flight out to Miami today after arriving in from St. Martin, so a little new international destination, or Aviation 45's airport. And proceeding to another airport of Aviation 45s, here we have a Condor with A330-900 Neo, and this aircraft will be heading out to Frankfurt, Germany today, or Aviation 25's airport. And we got our first new model in today's video. You have not seen a YouTube video of this model yet, because I just received this model yesterday, and I wanted to include it in the new Jacksonville Fictional Airport update. Here with the Gemini United 747-MAX 9. What a fantastic model this aircraft is, and he is touching down from a flight from Newark today. So, yes, this model did arrive broken. That engine, the right CFM LEAP engine, was detached upon arrival, which is really disappointing. I do have to fix that. I did just put it back on there just for today's video. So, there you got. Yeah, I did snap it in, so that's pretty good. Hopefully I can be able to super glue it in the future so it won't fall off. But yeah, so I really want to include this wonderful Gemini model. Other than that, this is a fantastic release, and yeah, Gemini has been nailing it at their models this year, so that's really exciting, and I really want a United 747-MAX 9 in my collection in the Evil Blue livery, so it's a great opportunity to incorporate that in today's video and into the collection. So a review for this model should be coming up in the next few days. Proceeding to our next aircraft, here we have another United 747, but this time it's a 747-700 in the Continental Globe livery. So this aircraft will be heading out to its typical service out to Houston Intercontinental today. Moving on to our next aircraft, here another send off for an aircraft. Here the Southwest 747-700 in the Louisiana 1 livery today. And this aircraft is riding from New Orleans today and be heading out to Columbus today. So in real life, Southwest will be retiring the Louisiana 1 747-700 and will be repainting this livery onto a -800. Yeah, that's what we have to assume about. And they have repainted all their special liveries so far onto 800, so likely this livery will be applied to a -800 in the near future. So yes, and this aircraft will just be repainting back to the hard livery in the near future. So this one includes Louisiana 1 for one last time. And then the Jacksonville Fictional Airport as a 747-700. Moving on to our next aircraft, here for cargo aircraft. Here for a Prime Air 767-300F. We'll say this aircraft has arrived in from Baltimore today and be heading out to San Bernardino today. Moving on to our next aircraft, here the Southwest 747-MAX 8 by NG model. So this aircraft has arrived in from Washington National and be soon heading out to San Diego today. Moving on to our next aircraft, here for Delta was the A350-900. So we'll say this aircraft has arrived in from Amsterdam today, be heading out to Cape Town. It'll be heading out to Cape Town in South Africa or Airplane Niners Airport. Proceeding to another taxiing aircraft, here the Air Transat Airbus A321neo. We'll say this aircraft has arrived in from Toronto Pearson today. It'll be soon returning back out there after getting unloaded and getting its passengers unloaded and reloaded for its next flight. Moving on to our next aircraft, here for United Express Bombardier CRJ-200. This aircraft will be heading out to Cleveland today. Proceeding to our next aircraft, here for JetBlue Airbus A320-200 with Sharklets today in the Spotlight livery by Altitude Models. This aircraft has arrived in from Albany today and be heading out to Buffalo, New York. So check out my latest Buffalo model airport update. Moving on to our next aircraft, here is Southwest 747-800. This aircraft has arrived in from Denver today, or in NBS's Aviation's airport. He'll be heading out to Nashville today. So some typical Southwest routes there. Moving on to our next aircraft, here to Cayman Airways Boeing 747-MAX 8. This aircraft will be heading out to Georgetown today. So what a beautiful model there. Moving on to our next aircraft, we have a Delta 747-800. We'll say this aircraft will be heading out to Salt Lake City today. Moving on to our next aircraft, we have a Japan Airlines Boeing 787-9. He'll be heading out to Tokyo Narita today. Change it up a little bit with that route. Moving on to our next aircraft, we have a Flair 747-800. And we'll say this aircraft will be heading out to, we'll do Kitchener Waterloo for him today, so really cool flare route. Moving on to our next aircraft, here with Southwest 747-MAX 8. We'll say this aircraft has arrived in from Raleigh, Durham, or Citrus Aviation's airport, It'll be heading out to San Antonio today. Proceeding to our next taxiing aircraft here with Southwest 747-700 with a split skimmer winglets. This aircraft is arriving from Burbank or Southwest Flyer 345's airport. He'll be heading out to Des Moines later on today. All right, so proceeding on to Terminal 1. So starting off our first aircraft here for United 747-800 in the Star Wars livery. So I know this livery is retired in real life, but since it's May and it's May the 4th was a few weeks ago, I decided to include this aircraft in today's airport update. So this wonderful United 747-800 will be heading up to Chicago O'Hare or Plain and Simple's airport, and check out his airport updates, his Chicago updates, which I've linked in the description below. Proceeding on to our next aircraft, so I did change this to line up a little bit. Here we United 757-200 and the Evo Blue livery. Hopefully in the next airport day, I will have the NG United 757-300 in the Evo Blue livery. That's going to be a fantastic model. So this United 757-200 will be heading out to San Francisco today. Moving on to another aircraft I really like in my collection. It's the United Airbus A321neo. What a fantastic NG model. And he'll be heading out to Chicago O'Hare later on today. Proceeding to our next aircraft here, the United 747-900ER. We'll say this aircraft has arrived in from Denver today and be heading out to Los Angeles in the coming hours. And proceeding to our next aircraft, this is another new model. It's the brand new Panama's United 767-400ER. What a fantastic model. Really love this model, and I did do a YouTube review of this model a few weeks ago, so check it out. So this wonderful aircraft will be heading out to Washington Dulles today, so a domestic wide-body flight there. Proceeding to our next aircraft here, the Lufthansa Boeing 787-9. This aircraft will be heading up to Frankfurt today, so this route is supposed to be upgauged to a 747 in this summer, so that's really exciting to see, and hopefully we can document that in the next airport day. And proceeding to our next aircraft here with Scandinavian Airbus A350-900. This aircraft will be heading out to Copenhagen later on today, so Scandinavian will be soon moving on over to Terminal 3 following their transition from a Star Alliance airline to a SkyTeam airline. So that's really exciting. So they'll be joining Delta Airlines over there soon, so we'll be having another open gate over here. Well, not open gate, but one less Star Alliance wide-body aircraft, and at least that's making room for Air India to return their service to Jacksonville in the coming weeks. Jacksonville Fictional Airport, at least. Proceeding to our next aircraft here with JetBlue Airbus A321-200 in the Prism Tail. This aircraft will be heading out to Grand Eagle International Airport or 100 Airport Spiders Airport. Proceeding to our next aircraft here, the Alaska 737-800. We'll say this aircraft has arrived in from San Diego today and be making a return flight out there. Proceeding to our next aircraft here, another workhorse in the collection, being the NG American Airbus A321-200 with a sharklet. So we'll say this aircraft has arrived in from Los Angeles today and be making a return flight out there in the coming hours. Proceeding to our next aircraft here, the wonderful NG models American 737-800 with the winglet logos. This aircraft has arrived in from New York LaGuardia today and will be soon heading out to Dallas-Fort Worth today. Proceeding to our next aircraft here, the American 747-MAX 8. This aircraft has arrived in from Washington National and will be soon making a return flight out there. And proceeding to our final American aircraft in today's airport day here, the American Embraer ERJ-175, and we'll be heading out to Philadelphia today. So that does conclude Terminal 1 in today's airport day. Alright, so starting off with Terminal 2, we'll be beginning the Southwest Airlines section with several new models. So starting off our first aircraft here, the Southwest 747-800 in the Nevada 1 livery. This is actually a pretty decent Gemini just released. They did a really good job on it for being on their poor 747-800 mold. So this aircraft, this Southwest 747-800 in the Nevada 1 livery will be heading out to a fitting destination, being Las Vegas. And this aircraft has arrived in from Kansas City earlier. And yes, I'm grateful to finally have Nevada 1 in my collection. It's the final Southwest State livery I did not have, so that completes the Southwest State livery collection. Moving on to our next aircraft here, the Southwest 747 in the hard livery with the blended winglets. We'll say this aircraft has arrived in from Greenville, South Carolina today, I should say. And it'll be soon heading out to Tucson, Arizona today. So that's a new Southwest route over at Jacksonville Fictional Airport, and shout out to Aviation Tests. Moving on to our next aircraft, we have another new model, which is the Phoenix model Southwest Airlines Boeing 747-MAX 8. So, yes, this is a pretty good Phoenix model. There's some weaknesses on this model, though, but it's always great to have another Southwest MAX 8 in the collection. We can have some variety in these airport updates. So, the Phoenix model Southwest 747-MAX 8 has arrived in from Montego Bay in Jamaica and he'll be soon heading out to Dallas Love Field today. So, yeah, so all the new models in today's video should have YouTube reviews, excluding the new Gemini models, and because those reviews will be coming out later this coming week. Proceeding to another Southwest aircraft, we have another Southwest 747-800 by NG Models. We'll say this aircraft has arrived in from Milwaukee today. It'll be soon heading out to Baltimore Washington International Airport. And proceeding on to the final Southwest aircraft in today's video, here we have another Southwest 747-800 in the heart livery with the blended winglets. This aircraft has arrived in from Aruba today, and will be soon heading out to Long Beach today. And alright, so proceeding on to some more low-cost airlines. To start with the first aircraft, we have the Sun Country 747-800. He's just arriving from Minneapolis, St. Paul, be making a return flight later on today. Proceeding on to some beautiful Spirit Airlines aircraft, we have the NG model Spirit Airbus A321neo. He's just arriving from Boston Logan International Airport today. He'll be soon making a flight out to Chicago O'Hare. Proceeding on to our next aircraft, we have a Spirit Airbus A320-200 with defense tips. He's just arrived in from Atlantic City today and be soon heading out to Myrtle Beach later on today. Moving on to our next aircraft, we have the wonderful Panama's Allegiant Airbus A320-200 with the Sharklets. He's just arrived in from Portsmouth today and be soon making a flight out to Pittsburgh. Moving on to our next aircraft, here are the Breeze Airbus A220-300. We'll say this aircraft has arrived in from Providence, Rhode Island today, and he'll be soon heading out to Long Island, Iceland. And proceeding on to our final aircraft over at Terminal 2, here the Frontier Airbus A321neo in the Uzi the Orchid Tail. This aircraft has arrived in from Denver and will be soon making a return flight out there. So, I got more exciting news. I'll be soon getting another Frontier Airbus A321neo, and in the what is it? Yeah, it's in the Bald Eagle Tail, one of the introductionary liveries with one of the Pratt & Whitney special liveries. So, it's going to be a really exciting Aero Classics model. So, I was pretty impressed with these Aero Classics Frontier Airbus A321neo. So, I decided I will buy another one to review for you guys and have some diversity over in these airport dates. So, and that is it for Terminal 2. And alright, so proceeding on to Terminal 3. So starting off with some Delta aircraft, we do have one new model over here. So this first aircraft, the Delta Connection by Air J175, will be heading out to a new service out to Austin, Texas. So Delta Airlines is expanding their Austin services in real life. So in this fictional airport, they decided to add a Austin service. That's really exciting to see. Proceeding on to our next aircraft, the Delta Airbus A321neo. He's just arrived in from Los Angeles today and will be soon making a return flight out there. Proceeding on to our next aircraft, the Delta Airbus A320-200. He's just arrived in from Boston today and will be soon making a return flight out there. Proceeding to our next aircraft, we have a Delta 747-900ER. We'll say this aircraft has just arrived in from Las Vegas today, and will be soon making a flight out to, we'll do Detroit today, so something a little different there. So once again, this aircraft has arrived in from Las Vegas, and will be soon heading out to Detroit. We actually got two new models over here, because our next aircraft is the new Gemini Jets Delta Airlines Boeing 757-200 without winglets. So that's really exciting. This is a Gen 2 configured 757, so they'll make this Atlanta service even more realistic. So this Gemini Jets Delta 757-200 will be heading out to Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson International Airport or Citrus Aviation Airport. And proceeding on to our final Delta aircraft, we have the lovely Panama's Delta Airlines Boeing 767-400ER. We'll say this aircraft will be heading out to Paris Charles de Gaulle International Airport today. And proceeding on to our next aircraft, we have Virgin Atlantic Airbus A330-900neo. This aircraft has arrived in from London Heathrow and will be soon making a return flight out there. Moving on to our next aircraft, we have the Air France Airbus A350-900. He's also just arrived in from Paris Charles de Gaulle, just like his Fellow Delta 767-400 will be soon making a return flight out there, so yeah, and sorry about the GSC being low everywhere there. The ground service crew are just they're driving up their vehicles to the aircraft because this aircraft has literally just landed. Moving on to our next aircraft. Moving on to our next aircraft with the Edelweiss Airbus A340-300. This aircraft is arriving from Zurich and will be making a return flight out there in the coming hours. Proceeding on to our next aircraft with the Iceland Air Boeing 747 MAX 9. He's just riding from Reykjavik, Helpavik, and will be soon making a return flight out there. And moving on to our next aircraft with the Air Canada Rouge Airbus A321-200. He's just riding from Toronto Pearson and will be soon making a return flight out there. And our final aircraft in today's airport today, which is the 66th aircraft, is the Viva Airbus A320-200. He's just arrived in from Monterrey in Mexico and will be soon heading out to Cancun today. And alright guys, that is it for the 32nd Jacksonville Fictional Airport date. And once again, this was for May of 2024, or the 18th birthday special, as I'll be soon turning 18 this coming week on Tuesday, which is really exciting. So yes, that's going to be a really big milestone in my life. I'll finally be an adult, so that's really exciting. Yes, and I cannot wait to find the future. That's all I really got to say. I'm just really excited to continue my aviation passion into adulthood and to become an airline pilot. And yes, I'll be soon going to college for that, so it's going to be really exciting. And announcements for that will be soon coming up on my Instagram account, so just stay tuned to figure out which aviation school I'll be going to. So that's really exciting. So for Jacksonville, we'll get back to Jacksonville now. We got some steady growth at today's airport day. We've had a lot of new models, mainly new mainline models from Delta and United, and that one Southwest and the two Southwest models. So it's been a kind of a steady month, but I'm glad I was able to include some brand new models such as the United Max 9, and of course the Southwest over there, and the 767-400. So there you go. And then try to do some new camera angles in this airport day. That's to change it up a little bit. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. And I changed the pacing up so the airport dates won't be very long. So yes, anything else I want to remark about? Yeah, new releases. I'll be going over the new releases more in an upcoming video, but there's been a lot of good models released recently, and yes, so I'll be doing a lot of models for review, and I do have some review models that in the backlog I haven't got to yet, like the new Gemini models. I'll be getting those soon. It's been a little busy recently, so yes, Air Classics announced some more models I'll be buying, including that Frontier A320neo. Gemini just has announced a good selection of international models, so that we'll be soon getting like the Lufthansa 747, which is going to be exciting. So Gemini announced some good models. NG Models announced some fairly decent models for their May set. I'll just begin. I think I'm down to get into them now, just because I want to start reviewing more unique models instead of getting the same model over and over again. And I want to get more models that are going to be out in the airport instead of staying up in my shelf. So I probably won't be getting any more niche special liveries or just niche models in general. So to save on some money and so I can review some more diverse models. So other than that, that's it for today's airport day. So I'm JT Pilot, and I'd like to thank you all so much for watching this video, and have a wonderful day and have a wonderful weekend.